So I want to welcome everyone to my masterclass. My name is India Kern, and I will be guiding us through this today. Um, Again, bear with me one moment while I get all the technology handled. I just saw something I need to do. Okay, perfect. So I am so glad you made it here today, and we're going to be talking about mindset. Here's the thing: success in life, in divorce, in anything is 95% mindset and 5% strategy. And this includes anything in life. So, we have to really understand our mindset and be able to change it when it's no longer serving us, right? So today, in this masterclass, I want you to walk away with two outcomes. And the first one is learn how to adopt the right mindset while you're navigating divorce. And the second one is to learn about a group coaching program. That's a great opportunity. It's happening next Wednesday, and it might be the perfect fit for you. So before we jump in, I'm just going to make sure that everything's working properly. And it looks like it is. So let's go to the next slide so I can talk about a little bit about myself. So some of you don't know who I am. So I'm a divorce coach and a life coach. So I specialize in working with people who are stuck. So what does that mean? Well, we become stuck when life turns out other than we expected, right? We didn't think it was going to be like this, and we don't like the way it's going. So we dig our heels in and we're like, no, I don't want to change. So here's my thing. I guide people who are stuck in an unlimited, or rather a limited mindset, to a place of unlimited greatness, because I believe that each and every one of you have unlimited greatness inside of you. So I help by building confidence and helping you gain a sense of security and be happy again. Because when it comes to divorce, you do have a choice to either get bitter or get better, and I help you get better. And I know that this is truth because I lived it, and I'm going to share with you my story. So let's continue, and I'll share the outline with you. So today we're going to talk about when the unthinkable happens, and we will be specifically talking about divorce. It's a major life transition, and no one gives you a manual on that. So I'm going to tell you how we can get through this. How can we change our mindset? We're also going to talk about the natural reactions to change. No one likes it, right? And then, of course, the theme of today's masterclass is adopting the right mindset to have while going through divorce. And I'm going to show you how to do it with 6 steps that you can implement today. All right. So I can't see who's on the call because I'm in present mode. So I hope that we have a lot, and let's just jump right in. All right, I like to start with this quote by C.S. Lewis. Getting over a painful experience is much like crossing monkey bars. You have to let go at some point in order to move forward, right? Now that's the hard part, because we have to let go of something to gain something new. And a life transition such as divorce is defined by a period of time where one phase ends and another phase begins. But it's the leaving behind that we don't want to do. We dig our heels in. We don't like change. And this is especially true in divorce. Okay, so I wanted to start out with that quote because it's one of my favorites, and it will be a theme throughout today's masterclass. So let's talk about life transitions. Why are they here? Well, the thing is, no one is immune to suffering. No one is immune to a life transition. And sometimes an unthinkable event is the needed intervention. It is unpleasant, but it may be the unpleasant wake-up call that can help you create a better life or a better situation if you're willing to redirect your life. And it's the redirecting or the changing of your mindset that is the challenge. But these life transitions actually can provide clarity and life direction. And I'll share with you how that happened for me. It can deepen your values, your core values, And it can shift paradigms. So what's a paradigm? It's basically your programming, your total belief system. So, you may be thinking, India, I already lost my marriage. I already lost time with my kids. Now I only get half. I lost some of my friendships. So what else are you telling me I have to give up? Well, like I said before, unthinkable events happen. Divorce, job loss, sickness, these are all things that happen, and no one is immune to life transitions. But here's the thing, I want to share with you how my unthinkable event that came in the form of divorce gave me purpose, and it did bring clarity, and it provided a needed change. It deepened my values, and it totally shifted my mindset, but for the better. So why do I want to give this to you? Because in 2011, when I went through my divorce, I wish I'd known this, because it could have prevented so much mental anguish and unnecessary suffering. So let me tell you more about my unthinkable event. Now, some of you may know it because I have some clients on here that have heard my story before, so I won't spend too much time in it. But again, my unthinkable event happened in 2011. I went to pick up my husband from the airport, and we'd been married for 11 and a half years. We'd known each other for 29 years because I knew him since 5th grade. He got in the car and he slung his luggage in the back seat and he said, "It's over." And I had no idea what he was over with. Honestly, I didn't know if he was talking about Southwest Airlines or what. So quickly, I learned he was talking about our marriage. And there was nothing I could say or do that would have kept him in the marriage. And I had 15 minutes from the airport to the house, right? So later on, as these things go, I discovered there was more to the story. He had a girlfriend and she was pregnant, and they were planning to get married. And 2 weeks after our divorce was finalized, he did get married, and my therapist officiated the wedding. You did hear me correctly. My therapist officiated their wedding. 1 month later, they had a baby. Now, this was all in the span of 7 months. So I'm not telling you all this to make you feel sorry for me. I'm actually telling you the opposite. I'm telling you all this because life looked so bleak and I was completely broken, but I learned how to shift my mindset so that I did end up creating a better life, actually an extraordinary life, after this major life transition, also called divorce, right? So that's what I want to show you today. And I hope this is all making sense. So let's continue. So here's what happens when we go through a major life transition like divorce. The thing is, we do not like the disruption of patterns because we humans work in patterns. And for me, divorce was a break in my pattern and it didn't feel secure. But remember what I said in the beginning, you have to leave something behind to pick up something new. So it's a threat to your security, right? It's all about uncertainty, and that feels so uncomfortable. You feel vulnerable and you're challenged, right? So that's one thing why it's a natural reaction to resist change. It's because it's a disruption of our pattern. Also, it can lead to an identity crisis. I wrestled with the questions like, were those years of marriage meaningless? Which tapped into deeper questions like, who am I? And what do I stand for? And what's my purpose on this earth? I had a true identity crisis and I was suffering. And this is so normal to go through when you go through a major life transition. And divorce fits that bill, right? So another thing is we resist the change because it's uncomfortable, right? We don't want to budge. We're not used to it. And I resisted this change for about 2.5 years. And I refer to those years as being underwater. So I wish I'd known all this stuff so I could have moved on faster, right? So here's the thing. When you become stuck in a unlimited mindset, right? And negativity breeds more negativity. And whatever you're focusing on expands. So let me ask you a question right now. Do you want what you're thinking about right now, what you're focusing on right now, to expand? Probably not, right? So I was dealing with some serious grief. And grief has 5 stages: anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I felt rudderless, aimless. I was like a rolling tumbleweed. And how could I expect to get what I wanted in life if I could not even articulate what that looked like? Like I said, my identity had been completely rocked and I had to rebuild. So how does one go from a defeated and broken negative mindset to a mindset of unlimited belief? How do you change your mindset from a place of fear to a place of strength? Give me one moment because I've lost my screen. So something just popped up. So just give me one moment here. Okay, now we're back. Sorry about that. So the question I was saying is, how does one go through from a defeated and broken negative mindset to a mindset of unlimited belief? Well, I wish I had known this answer about 9.5 years ago. It would have saved me a lot of unnecessary suffering. And that's what I want to talk about right now. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So we are much like a thermostat. We work at a certain degree. And it's based on our total belief system. So what is a total belief system? Well, it's the totality of everything you believe in. It's your habits, your experience, your values, and your assumptions. How do you get that? Well, you get it from your parents. You get it from your institutions, churches, your school. You get it from your grandparents, from people who are the authority in your life, right? So that's where we start getting our set point, where we set our degree. And it's a psychological thermostat. And we have to maintain that comfort set point. And I'm going to give you an example by, let's think about what a temperature or what a thermostat does. Say this morning was kind of cool and you opened up all the windows in your house. And so what happens is, say the heater was on, the set point was 70. The wind came in the windows and the temperature dropped in the house to 65, right? So what happens? The thermostat kicks on, the heater kicks on, and then that thermostat gauge tries to go back to the set point, which is 70. So you are exactly like that, right? So when you are challenged and your belief system, that total belief system, is challenged, you try to go back to that set point. It is your comfort zone. But here's the thing, that comfort zone can either be holding you back or allowing you to grow and expand with opportunity. So the goal is to find comfort in the discomfort so that you can move your set point. But here's the thing, how do you move the set point? Well, we'll get to that. But before we do that, I want to talk about a classic example of this thermostat analogy. So I know all of you have heard of lottery winners, right? And a lot of times lottery winners are poverty stricken, right? So they don't have a lot of money and then they win like $12 million, right? So within 2 years, usually they go back to being poverty stricken. Now, why is that? It's because their set point kept them stuck. They could not expand with the abundance that they received. So they had to go back. So they spent all their money because their total belief system was at the core, I do not deserve this and I am poor. So here's where this plays in with you. We have to make sure our set point is not holding us back. Again, I'll ask you the question. If you think about the mind chatter that goes on in your head, would you like that to be expanded upon? because what we focus on expands. Negativity breeds more negativity. So how do we move the set point? Okay, that's what we're going to talk about next. So let's go to the next slide. So we need to adopt the right mindset in divorce. So here's the real kicker. Ask and you shall receive. That seems too simple, right? But here's the thing, your brain will answer any question you ask of it. So go ahead. I want you to try something right now. Look around your room and ask yourself, how can I improve the area? Maybe there's a stack of paper over in the corner of the room that needs to be organized, or maybe it's your computer desktop that's cluttered beyond belief, and you could use a major overhaul and clean it up, right? So when you ask, you will get answers. It's the way we humans operate. So as I told you in my story before, the story of my divorce, my apple cart was completely dramatically overturned. You could say it was Telemundo style, right? But as a result, I became a better person and created a better life because of this upturn, right? And it was not overnight. It was a process, and I had to actively ask myself what I needed to change. Then I had to identify what it was, like, what am I going to do? What needs to be left behind? And then you start changing. So I did a lot of asking and identifying. But this practice of ask, identify, and changing, starting small, was me changing my set point, changing my temperature from 68 degrees to 110. And it was step by little step, not overnight. So the reason I asked, how'd you do that exercise, is you start small. And maybe, right, you know, because the bigger questions like, what is my purpose, are too daunting right now. So do what you can, even if this means organizing your space, your pantry, your closet, because eventually you will move to the bigger questions like, what do I need to let go of? Is letting go of the idea that life didn't turn out as I expected, is that something I need to let go of? Or maybe you're wrestling with no longer identifying as the same person that you were before this unthinkable divorce event happened, right? So identify, what do I need to let go of? So once you let go of these ideas that you've been holding on to, you can start seeing, identifying where you need to focus. You know, clearly all of us suffer. We've established that. No one gets out of this lifetime without pain. And many of us fumble our way through the life transition. But there is an antidote to this mental anguish, and we can control the way we feel. That's a big statement, right? Did you know that we can control our feelings? You know, I don't have enough time to unpack that today, but it's a topic that I discuss in great detail in my programs and my one-on-one coaching practice. So, like I said, once you ask, now you identify what needs to be done, you could start those tasks today and feel better about your space, right? About your environment. Put in order what you can put in order. Start small, and then it expands. So hold on to that idea of asking, identifying, and starting small, and putting in order what can be put in order, because we're going to go on to the next slide. I'm going to show you, let's see if I can move there, 6 steps that you can do right now to create a meaningful life. Because here's the question that I asked before: how does one adopt the right mindset in divorce? Is you must create meaning in life. So I'm going to give you 6 steps right now that you can implement today that will help you create meaning, and as a result will help you shift your mindset to the right mindset during divorce. So the first thing is you must define your core values, because we don't get what we don't aim for. And if you don't have a destination, you're not going to get there. So these core values serve as a roadmap, and they help you with major life decisions, from career paths to your future partner. So if you need help with this, just email me or tell me in the chat box. I want the PDF on core values because I do have one that I'd be happy to share with you. The second thing is you must identify what you intend to create, just like that last practice I said, ask, identify, and then start small. You identify what you intend to create by thinking from the end. So go out a year and think, what do I want my life to look like in a year? And then you work your way back. Okay, so that's one, you have to start articulating what you want because you don't get what you don't aim for. And the third thing you want to do is serve others. You know, volunteering makes a huge difference. When we give, we receive more, right? I like to say I like to say with a grateful heart, there's no room for an anxious mind. Think about it. If you go serve at a soup kitchen, you see people that aren't doing so well. And you think to yourself, oh my gosh, I have so much to be grateful for. So serve others, and it will take the focus off of you and help others, and you will receive more as a result. The fourth thing is, as you go through these steps of identifying and, you know, asking, identifying, and starting small, you're building confidence step by step. The simple practice of setting a goal and following through is helping you identify what needs to change in your life. And this practice will spill over to the bigger issues. You know, again, I said start small because it's digestible. So as you do that, again, the practice will spill over to the bigger issues that need to be addressed. So start small, clean your room, make your bed, organize your pantry, and then it'll expand. Fifth thing is create purpose. And I know that sounds daunting, right? But here's a great way to start with that. Ask your best friends, why are you friends with me? What would they say? And write it down. Their responses will give you insight into your talents and your gifts and your purpose. Now, this is also something I do with my clients. So again, if you're having trouble with that, I can help you understand purpose. And the last piece of this is find a spiritual practice that works for you. And it doesn't have to be faith. It can. If you are of faith, I say dive deep when you're going through this life transition of divorce. Because how grim would life be if we felt that we had to do everything on our own? Connect with your source, connect with a creator, whatever that looks like. Maybe it's church, maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's prayer, maybe it's surfing or just walking on the beach. Do something that's grounding, and it lets you know that you are not alone in this life. And there's something larger out there, larger than yourself, that wants the best for you. Okay, so those are the 6 steps you can do right now to create meaning in your life, which will help you change your mindset so that you can have that mindset that sets you up for success in life. So now I would like to spend the last 5 minutes telling you about that program that I'm offering next Wednesday. So it's called Higher Road Divorce Coaching, and it will be 5 weeks. We come together every Wednesday on Zoom at the noon hour. So if you're a professional, you can still do this. And this is the 4th group coaching program I've offered, and it has been so incredible. In fact, I encourage you to go to my link. I put it in the chat and see the reviews. And here's the thing, when you're in a group setting, there's magic because you have a single-minded purpose, which is to heal from divorce. And when issues are identified in a group, they lose their power because you're hearing other people tell your same story. And you realize you're not alone, right? So we have weekly group Zoom calls. They're for an hour. It's a small community. It's a supportive community. I will limit it to 15 seats. Usually it's a lot less than that. It's usually around 7. And we have a private Facebook group that we can meet up on or talk to each other throughout the week when we're not meeting. So today I want to tell you, you are a perfect fit for this group coaching course if one-on-one coaching it might not be in your budget, right? Because what you get for the value of this is you get basically a $400 savings. Because if I were to do 5 one-on-one group, not group, if I were to do 5 one-on-one coaching sessions with you, it'd be $1,000. But for $5.99, you get the same type of coaching with a few other people. And so it's great value. Essentially, you save $400. So you're a great fit if it's cost, one-on-one is preventing you, the cost is preventing you from doing that. So group coaching might be the answer. Also, if your mindset is causing more harm than good, this is a great program for you. If you're not getting the results you want, join this group. And if you feel overwhelmed by divorce, that's another reason. You want clarity and you want a support and a game plan. This is the group for you. Now, I want to give you an incentive before you go. The first 3 to join will receive a free one-on-one coaching session with me. That's 1 hour, but you have to act now, okay? You have to do it in the next 48 hours because that deal will expire in 48 hours. So like I said, look in the chat box. And for those of you that are not on Facebook, I will post that link as well. So along with this incentive, I'm also going to give you a free online course. It's called the Divorce Survival Kit. It's worth $77. You get that for free if you join within 48 hours. All right. So this course is $5.99. I think it has huge value, and I hope that you will join because I'm having so much fun facilitating these groups, and there is huge value. And if you want to know more, go to indiakern.com. It's on my homepage, and you will see all the details. Now, before I go to the last slide, I just want to ask you, what's your emotional health worth to you? Because here's the thing. We spend tons of money on attorneys and all the professionals in the divorce space that will get us divorced. But many times we ignore our emotional health. So some of the topics we'll include are facing anger, the complexity of forgiveness, the roadblocks to avoid, right? So think about this program. If you'd like to speak to me one-on-one, I can answer questions. Just reach out to me at connect@indiakern.com and we can have a conversation about this. Okay, before you go, one last thing. I want to connect with you on social. So I have the Divorce Recovery Mentor. I actually know the Divorce Recovery Mentor on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram under India L. Kern, and then I'm on LinkedIn as well. So please connect with me so that you can see free content and get more information about the master classes that are to come in the future. So we are right at about 28 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end this Zoom call. And again, if you'd like to reach out to me and have more discussion on this, just go to connect@indiakern.com. Say, India, let's talk. I'm very interested in the group coaching platform called Higher Road, but I need some answers and I just want to get on the phone with you. Also, remember that incentive. If you act in 48 hours, you will get that one-on-one hour free coaching call. All right, guys, I want to thank you for being a part of this masterclass. I had a great time teaching it. I hope to see you in the future. I hope to see you at Higher Road Divorce Coaching. I hope to see you on that platform. And again, I hope that you found this valuable and that you found it helpful. So I hope you have a beautiful Friday. And I will talk to you soon. Everyone take care. And that's a wrap, guys. Have a great day.